Hey, what's going on, everybody? Alex here with Freedom Mowers, and today we are going to be jumping back into the 1972 SEARS Suburban 12, and I've got a little list to actually put together this time, so I kind of can just roll right through it, and we can get some of the things done that I would like to get done on it. I got it pulled into the shop, and we are actually sitting at, oh, let's see, 32 force, about 36 degrees in the shop right now. Where we were at on this tractor last time was we got the carburetor cleaned and situated, and we were able to get it fired up and kind of go through the gears, and everything seemed to be working just fine. Someone did point out to me in the other video that this did not look like the right carburetor that should be on this machine, and he was absolutely right. After looking at it, doing some research, this is actually I probably won't be able to show you guys, but it's a Marvel Schebler carburetor, and from what I can tell looking online, there wasn't a ton of information. But this carburetor, I believe, came off from an old Wisconsin engine, and I'm hoping that we can get the adjustments right on this and get this machine to run fairly well off from this carburetor, because I don't have another one. And worst case, if I have to, I'll either get a used one or buy a new replacement for it. But I think we can get this to work. Let's see. So yeah, so basically we got the machine up and running. I was having issues last time with the starter generator belt, and I just went yesterday to Tractor Supply and I got a belt for it. This is not the correct size per se, but I think this is gonna work. I actually had to go up there twice. The first belt I got, from what I was looking online, it said that it's supposed to be, I believe, 3/8 by 33. All they had were 1/2 inch belts up there, so I got a 1/2 inch by 33, and it was too short. So I got a 1/2 inch by 34, and got it on last night, and we got it pretty snug, and there's plenty of room for adjustment still. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. And let me quickly show you guys on here. We're just gonna try to do some carb adjustment today, change the oil, grease the idler, which I'll show you guys in a minute. I think I'm just gonna try to roll with the alternator that's on here for a little bit, until I can get some time to tear into this and get into the charging system. I'm gonna see if I can take a battery out of one of my other mowers, probably take the wheel weights off from it. I was gonna try to clean up some of the real greasy spots on it, possibly put some ATF in the rear tires, and then if I can get to it, at least check to see if there's any water in the trans fluid. But that's kind of what we got on the agenda. So before I even start trying to crank this up today, I want to try to get this pulley off. It was pretty noisy last time, and I don't want the bearings to totally disintegrate themselves, so I'm going to try to get this pulley off, and we'll try to get some grease packed in there and see if we can help this along to last a little bit longer. So let me get you guys set up on the tripod, and we'll see if we can get that off. Alright, I was trying to figure out what sizes we're gonna need here. Looks like it's gonna be a 9/16 on both sides. Of course, need an extension. Ugh. It's kind of a tight area here to work in. get this up on the bench and take a look at it. Alright, well, I got it off from there. This is the back side. There's the front side of it. I'm gonna try to see if I can't get in the seal here and get some grease packed in, because it is like, it's able to spin, but it's super crunchy in there. So I'll try to get this cleaned up, get some grease in there, and then I'll show you guys. Alright, well, I was able to get my, I've got a grease needle attachment for my grease gun, and I was able to get in there and basically just inject some grease and keep working it in there and keep putting in a little bit more. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but it's really smooth now, so pretty much got that sorted out. We'll get that mounted back up, and then I'll push this outside and we'll see if we can get this fired up and start trying to adjust that carburetor a little bit. Alright, well, we got this big honking machine out here. Turn this fuel on. I got the jumper pack already hooked up to the battery. Let that fill up here for just a minute. You guys can see. Alright. Fuel's on. Let's turn on the choke. Give it some throttle. Alright. Let's add some more fuel. So, where are we going with it? Is that opening up? Just go a full turn right there. Let it warm up a little bit, and then we'll start messing with the adjustment a little bit more. Alright, you guys see everything here? It would help if I added fuel to the tank, huh? like it's running pretty good right there. Let it warm up here for a minute, and then I'll shut it down. I'll get the oil changed. All right, well, had that running there for about 5 minutes, and seems like that carburetor is going to work okay. I might have to do a little bit more adjusting here and there on it, but I think that's going to work. Wanted to get the oil warm enough. Who knows how long it's been since this was changed. It was pretty dark when I got it. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh yeah. Nice and black. So we'll let this drain, and then I'll wipe this area up a little bit here, and then I'll go ahead and get this topped off, and we will move on to, let's see, what do we got left? Or what do we have on the agenda? We got changing the oil, adjusting the carb and the idle, greasing the idler. So I'll probably pop those wheel weights off, and then we'll start looking at the alternator on here and seeing about putting a battery in, and maybe we can have some charge to the system. All right. Well, I've got this, actually added some Marvel mystery oil in as well, but we got some nice clean oil topped off, and in the meantime, while I was letting that dry, while I was letting that drain, I went ahead and put back on the belt that they had originally for the alternator and snugged up that connection. So let me get cleaned up in here a little bit. We'll get this pushed back outside. Quackers, you're gonna get hit by that door. You wanted to come check things out too? All right, well, I was so rudely interrupted by my GoPro's battery. Apparently it doesn't like it when it's 40 degrees out. So it's a little bit later, and I got this pushed outside. Alternator is hooked up. So hopefully this is gonna at least work. Give it a shot. We'll get the jumper pack on it, we'll crank it up, and we'll check for voltage on the alternator and see if that will possibly charge a battery, and kind of go from there. So let me get you guys set up. I'll crank it up and we'll test it real quick. Alright, well, it looks like I'm assuming this has an internal regulator on it. It's not working because we are putting out about 17 volts, which is not going to be good on a battery. You're going to end up cooking the battery at voltage that high, I believe. I think normally, like, 13, 14, start getting up, I think, above like 15, and you could start to damage the battery. So I don't think that this alternator is gonna work, unfortunately. So kind of back to square one on this. I was kind of hoping that this was gonna work, and temporarily I could at least use this to charge battery on it before I really start digging into the machine to get to the wiring underneath and the factory voltage regulator, and to pull off the starter generator and test all that stuff. But looks like for now I'll just be disconnecting the alternator and all of that stuff, and then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and for now I want to pull the wheel weights off from here just to see what it looks like underneath. I'm assuming it's just gonna be caked in grease and oil, and because the hubs on this are just totally caked, so I'm only assuming underneath of the wheel weights is gonna be the same. And once I get the weights off, I kind of want to just hose it down a little bit and just clean off some of the dust. I was able to remove basically the whole alternator setup besides whatever they had welded on here and this other bracket, but I took everything else off from there. That is out of the way now. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these wheel weights off and show you guys what's underneath. So yeah, I ended up splitting my finger open on this one, but they were pretty easy to get off. I was a little nervous that the all thread was going to be all jacked up on it, or the carriage side of the head where it has that square. I didn't know if they were going to be rounded out, but I got the nuts off from this side. You guys can see the amount of grease down in here. It is thick. I guess at this point what I'm going to do is I am going to get those bolts out for the wheel weights. I'm going to get that stuff moved off to the side. I am going to go get some degreaser, and I'm going to rinse off some stuff on this and show you guys a little look. I'm going to get all this stuff out from under the seat pan too, but then I'll show you guys what this looks like with just a little rinse down, and then we'll probably wrap this video up because it's freezing cold and I don't see getting a whole lot more done on this today. But at least we got the oil changed, figured out what was going on with the alternator, got the carb adjusted a little bit, and yeah, so we're making some headway. All right, well, once again the GoPro decided to die, but I put it on the charger while I was trying to wash the tractor, and I had a heck of a time trying to get any of that grease off from those back wheels. That's probably gonna be something I might have to take the wheels off and like really go to town on it. I'll show you guys. I mean, it started raining on me, of course, and it's like 40 degrees, but it did clean up fairly well, and it's coming together. Try not to be negative about this weather. I know a lot of people are dealing with the snow right now, and it's way colder in most people's areas, but we got at least we got the oil changed, we got the carb adjusted on here. Just wanted to see how it was going to look with the weights off. We'll see if I'm going to end up putting those back on or if I need them. Really, this was just, I wanted to use this for the time being to pull a trailer around the yard and do some other things with it. So I know there's still going to be a few things I need to button up on it. Unfortunately, with the charging system, I'm going to have to really get into it and take off the starter generator and do some testing on the voltage regulator. But at least for the time being, we have a tractor that I can get started with the jumper pack and use it and haul with it. And I'm excited. 50-year-old tractor, and got it up and going. The other two tractors, I'm not really sure. I got to start looking over, see what's going on with the ST12. I mean, it might end up being a fairly easy fix to get it going. I don't know yet. And with the Custom 7, I'm not really sure yet if that back tire is going to be savable with the tube, or if I'm going to have to get new tires for that. If I have to get new tires, that's going to be on hold for a little while, because I've got a ton of projects and I don't really have the money to be spending on tires on that at the moment. So I think it's pretty much going to wrap things up for us today, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully you enjoy this antique or vintage tractors. I'm really excited for working on these, and I think it's something nice, something different, and I just enjoy working on the older stuff. And yeah, so we're having some fun. And hopefully you guys are staying warm out there and staying safe. And thanks again for tuning in. And remember, let freedom ring and let the small engine sing. I'll catch y'all in the next video.